Hey, we're going bowling. Bowl season is amongst us with several enticing matchups on the slate, including a Big 12 showdown. Colorado taking on BYU in the Alamo Bowl. That's on December 28th. Two teams who hope to be in the CFP, a rematch of last year's Rose Bowl. Michigan and Alabama duking it out in the ReliaQuest Bowl. That's out in Tampa on New Year's Eve. We're now joined by CBS Sports football analyst Emory Hunt as the bowl schedule was officially revealed on Sunday. And due to conference realignment, we'll get to see the 10-2 BYU take on 9-3 Colorado in the Alamo Bowl. Two teams that finished in the top 25 in the college football playoff rankings, but the Cougars at 17, Buffs at 23. Considering that this is a Big 12 showdown, just how do you see this one shaking out?
Don't hype up this game. Nobody wants to see these teams play. But the reason why you should watch this game, Coach Prime said that his guys will play. They will not opt out. And what that means, we got the #1 quarterback in the NFL draft class in Shedeur Sanders that's going to play, and the #1 overall player in the NFL draft class in Travis Hunter, and potential Heisman Trophy winner will play in this ball game. And this is a great test for these two players against this defense of BYU. BYU does a great job at the point of attack, so it'll be a great chance for Shedeur Sanders to have one more showcase throwing the football versus a tough defense. And on the flip side, you get to see Travis Hunter playing some great cover skills on the back end against these receivers from BYU, but also on offense. Be one last tip of the cap for both of these guys going off to the sunset.
You said don't hype this one up, but I think that's a big deal, especially so many years. We get to see a lot of these star players that are opting out and preparing for the draft, but we still get to see them at least one more time in the collegiate field. But in the biggest non-college football playoff matchup this postseason, the defending champs heading down south to face 11th-ranked Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl. That's going to be Tuesday, December 31st. Wolverines fresh off that upset against Ohio State, looking to build off that momentum. Alabama, meanwhile, the last team left out of that CFP, perhaps maybe a little revenge, a little anger on their minds. I don't know, but what stands out to you in this one?
First of all, let's stir the pot like a big gumbo pot.
Let's do it. Okay, I like this.
I love how we start with showing Jalen Milroe. Why? Because is this the last game we see Milroe play in college football, let alone Alabama? Is he going to the NFL? I don't know. Is he going to transfer out to another school? Who knows? But this is intrigue to watch this game from the Alabama side. From the Michigan side, you have the hype of beating Ohio State. You have the added hype of adding Bryce Underwood, the #1 quarterback recruit in the country. And now you get a chance to knock off Alabama again. That'll be a great, 3-step into the offseason and building into what should be a college football playoff appearance next season for Michigan. So there's a lot at stake here for both Alabama and Michigan, but most importantly is Jalen Milroe going to the NFL draft. I can't wait.
We got plenty of storylines, and we're not even done going through many of these bowl games because we got another one, because in the Citrus Bowl, it's a battle of 9-3 teams with 14th-ranked South Carolina taking on 21st-ranked Illinois on New Year's Eve. This is the third bowl game in Coach Shane Beamer's 4 years with the Gamecocks. I want to know what you like about this one.
First of all, we're talking about perhaps the best team or second best team in the SEC in South Carolina that's not in the postseason, but we'll save that for another day. But South Carolina has great balance on both sides of the ball. Outstanding quarterback Lenore Sellers. We know about their defense and how they're able to get after the quarterback and stop the run. And this matchup here, to me, would be a great test for this South Carolina football team, because Illinois is a rock-solid squad, almost like the Big Ten version of South Carolina. They play great for Brett Bielema. They do a great job in slowing down the run game. Their quarterback play has been efficient. So this will be one of the more entertaining games. And quite honestly, one of my favorite games to watch has always been the Citrus Bowl, because it's always a good matchup. And we got a great one here between two teams that probably should have, in a 16-team or 20-team playoff format, would have probably been in.
Yeah, and I misranked them. It's 15th ranked South Carolina, 20th ranked Illinois. I'm playing my own rankings.
Bowl season.
There we go. All right. Well, meanwhile, Florida Gators, they're going to face Tulane, the Green Wave, in the Gasparilla Bowl. The Gators set to finish the 2024 season with a winning record, breaking that 4-year streak of losing seasons. But I want to know what stands out to you in this one, considering the seasons they came off of.
Shout out to Billy Napier, first of all, because I like how he was able to turn the ship around and get things going in the right direction. They wanted him out of there, but now he's planted firmly in deep firmament out there in Gainesville. And this is all about DJ Lagway, the outstanding quarterback that we've grown to know over the course of this season. He's been phenomenal. Now you want to think, like, man, if he would have started the whole season, maybe Florida would be a different player in the SEC, but they got a guy that they can build around, some recruits are starting to fall in. So I like the Florida side of things for Tulane. One of my favorite backs is Mekhi Hughes, over 1,300 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns. They have a dynamic offense. You know, their quarterback, Minton, is a fantastic player. Just fell short of the postseason, just fell short of the AAC title game. But this is a great team, another great matchup we have here in bowl season.
Yeah, and then we got to talk about the Celebration Bowl. We got Jackson State, South Carolina State. You got some good intel about this matchup.
Yeah, listen, Chennis Berry is a fantastic coach. I met him when he was down at Southern. He was the offensive line coach, produced numerous players going to the NFL, got the head coaching job at Benedict College, was in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, D2 program, got those guys to back-to-back playoff appearances, took over for a legend in Buddy Pugh as the head coach of South Carolina State, and has gotten them into the MEAC championship game, which got them to the Celebration Bowl. MEAC Coach of the Year, has a great football team. And on the other side, SWAC head football coach, Coach of the Year, T.C. Taylor, took over for Coach Prime, who Prime kind of gave him the reins. Like, hey, hire this guy. And they've been doing great, blowing teams out in the SWAC. So this is a great matchup between two outstanding coaches and a rematch of what we saw the last time we saw these two teams play, Buddy Pugh, Coach Prime. So I'm looking forward to this being a rematch in the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta.
As if bowl season isn't big enough, you certainly dropping all of the storylines and gems to only make this even more enticing. Emory Hunt, we appreciate the insight. Thanks so much. And for more on bowl season as well as the CFP rankings, you're going to want to check out the Cover 3 podcast. Chip Patterson, Tom Fornelli, Danny Cannell, and Bud Elliott have you set with all the biggest news, storylines, and best bets. Follow and download wherever you get your podcasts.